Hi everyone, my name is Justin Elicker and I'm on the New Haven Board of Aldermen, and I'd like to talk to you about charter revision. Now, I know what you're thinking, but give me a few minutes of your time, and I think you'll find that this stuff is both interesting and may have an impact on your life. Every city has a charter which outlines the rules under which our government operates. Just like the United States has a constitution, New Haven has a charter. Our charter dictates things like how many wards there are, the power of the mayor, the power of the Board of Aldermen, the number and structure of city departments, and so on. Every 10 years, we as a city review the charter and can propose changes to it. In 1992, we as a city successfully changed the charter to transfer budgetary power to the Board of Aldermen. Every other year in recent history, charter revision has failed because voters rejected the proposal. Now, 2010 was a special case where the Board of Aldermen and the mayor couldn't agree on the commission, so we're giving it another go this year. So how does the process work? Well, first a charter revision commission is formed by the Board of Aldermen and given a list of suggestions of things that can be changed about the charter. Second, the commission holds public hearings where you can come and give your opinion on what should be changed. The commission deliberates and votes on a proposal which they then send to the Board of Aldermen to vote on. Finally, the public votes on the proposal in a referendum. If all goes well, you'll be voting on some proposal this November. Now, the Board of Aldermen has already formed a commission of 15 citizen members, including a few alder people. The board has also already provided the commission with a suggested agenda. In the long list of suggested changes, there are 4 suggestions that people are talking about the most. First, is the size of the Board of Aldermen a good one? Currently, we have 30 alder people. Some people think that's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Second, is the length of term for the mayor and the Board of Aldermen appropriate? Currently, everyone has 2-year terms, and some people think they should be 4. Third, is term limits for the mayor and the Board of Aldermen. Currently, there are no term limits. Some people think that should change. And finally, is an elected versus appointed Board of Education. I'd like to talk in detail about this one, because I think changing this part of the charter is a key element to improving our schools. As it stands now, the Board of Education has 8 members. 7 are appointed directly by the mayor, and the 8th is the mayor. The Board of Ed has huge amounts of influence over the schools. They hire the superintendent, control the school budget, hire principals and other employees, control school construction, and so on. Now, some people support the idea that boards of education should be appointed directly by the mayor, as ours in New Haven is. They have a few justifications for their argument. They say that we shouldn't politicize education. But if you follow the media, New Haven public schools are already pretty politicized, so I'm not convinced by that argument. The second thing that people that support an appointed Board of Education say is that with a reform-minded mayor, you'll get faster and better reform because the mayor has full control over the Board of Education. This to me seems like the benevolent dictator argument. Sure, if we have a great king, we'll get a great Board of Education. But on the off chance that we don't have a great king, what kind of Board of Education are we going to get? Do you want to take that chance? The third thing pro-appointed Board of Education people say is that an appointed Board of Education allows for education experts to be appointed on the board, people who might not run for office but have a lot to add. I think this argument actually holds some weight, and there are currently some folks on the Board of Education who are well-respected experts in the education field and have the potential to positively impact our kids' education. Now here's what the other side says are reasons for an elected Board of Education. The first is increased public involvement. In an election, you inevitably get increased public dialogue. Candidates have to work to get out their message and to differentiate themselves from each other. In a contested election, the public talks more about the issues and feels some sense of ownership over the result. And once elected, the candidate feels like she needs to deliver to the public or she might not get reelected. A consistent message that I hear throughout the city is that parents want to be more involved in the school system, and I think elections are one way to ensure that happens. The second thing that pro-elected Board of Ed people say is that elected boards increase transparency. Elected officials on the Board of Education are in a meaningful position to help ensure more transparency, and transparency is a real concern in New Haven. I even had to submit a Freedom of Information Act request before the New Haven Public Schools would share data on enrollment numbers. Finally is increased accountability. It shouldn't take years of pushing by parents before the magnet school lottery numbers are shared, before there is a fair and open lottery for sought-after kindergarten slots, before the schools implement a sibling preference policy. Elections ensure more accountability because the public will vote someone else in if the elected official doesn't deliver. Now, if you think an appointed school board is the answer to our problems, look at the successes of other appointed school boards in the state. Problem is, New Haven is the only municipality in the whole state with an appointed school board. Now, if our schools were fantastic, that might help make the case for an appointed board, but we know that's not yet the case. Now, we've talked about there being some good points about the appointed model. Remember those experts? And there are good points making the case for an elected model. So why not compromise? Why not have a partially elected and partially appointed school board, a hybrid? That way we can have those experts, but also increase public involvement, transparency, and accountability. Look, we live in a democracy, and although elections aren't perfect, they increase public participation, public dialogue, and most importantly, create a system of accountability. Our Board of Education needs to be accountable to the people. If you care about this stuff, come let the Charter Revision Commission know how you feel at one of these public hearings over the next month. Your input will make a difference and can help make this city work better for many years to come.